Okay, so good morning. My computer decided Facebook doesn't find its camera again, so we need to make plan B here, but I think that's not a problem. We can do that. What I will do is to make it a little bit easier for me. I just go on my computer, on my normal Facebook page. I see there are already some people in there. That's great. Just let me know that you can hear and see me so that I know my cell phone here, the technique, everything is working. And then I will need to find out later on today. Oh yeah, it looks like. Okay, great. So just write in the comments so that I know that you can hear and see me. That would be absolutely lovely. Yeah, okay. So what do we want to do today is Francis, thanks very much, loud and clear. You can see Alex, you can hear and see me perfectly, absolutely great. You see, I'm making sure that you all can see my black belt certificate. It's here in the back. Okay, who is that? Let me just see. Alex, good morning. Okay, Tabi, good morning. Tibohu, good morning. Great. Okay, so that will be a fun session this morning. Okay, so what I want to do today is I just wanted to explain a little bit about the financial forecast. What information, how detailed you need the information, okay, to be able to do a proper financial forecast. Hey, I know I have lots of times discussions with clients and they explain to me, hey, this is all thumb sucking. And there is part of it is thumb sucking. That's why it's just so absolutely important that you also get as much detailed information as possible, and that's also something what the financiers, of course, want to see from you. Yeah. Okay, for some of you, you may not know me. My name is Dagmar Breiling. I am here the CEO and the funding expert at Funding Connection. My team and I, we assist companies accessing loans and grants. And we do that by consulting, advising, drafting professional business plans, and also the support to apply for funding. Okay. Sane, I'm well. Thanks very much for asking. Okay. So if you now, let's say, okay, it doesn't matter whatever you want to do. You want to start your business, you want to expand. I highly recommend don't miss out on these steps. Yes, maybe you don't need somebody who helps you to draft a professional business plan, but these tips I want to share here on my Facebook group are the absolutely important. If you want to apply for funding, if you want to invest your own money, doesn't matter. Please, please, please do yourself a big favor. Don't miss these steps. Okay, so because I'm sure you know that lots of startups are failing, and one of the biggest challenge is that lots of startups just thinking, okay, let's just start, we just wing it, you know, and then we will figure it out on our way. I personally would never ever do that. I've started a couple of different businesses in my life. In Germany, also here in South Africa, was able to sell some of them. Some of them I closed down, you know, so because I thought it makes no sense to find somebody to take over. It was not that successful, and sometimes, you know, so it is too much bound to you as a person, to your specific skill set, that it makes no sense. Okay, so let's start. You need now a financial forecast, okay? So that means you sit down and you think about a couple of different things. And it doesn't matter where you start, okay? Again, this is like a big puzzle part, and all just needs later on at the end, you just need to see the full picture and double check that it makes sense, okay? So have an idea how many staff you need, make a list how much you would need to pay them, so that you have your monthly salaries and wages. Okay, please, I would do that the easy way. It is all inclusive. There is nothing separate with UIF and tax, so you have a price tag per person, and it may be not even the full salary they later on get, but maybe also some other cost included there. Yeah. The next part is then to think about your products. Okay, so what product or services do you really want to offer? Have a list. Develop a price list. Okay, I highly recommend, if any possible, I know sometimes it's a little bit challenging if you want to be a retailer or I don't know, a supermarket or something like this. Then it's a little bit more complex, but usually you have a couple of different products, and then you think about for how much are you able to sell it. Yeah, and then you go back again, and then you think about how much does it cost me. So either way, it means you need to produce it because it's a service. Okay, and then you just need to have a cost price. And here's already the trick. I've seen that lots of times. Okay, so that people, let's say somebody offers business plans like Funding Connection. Okay, and then they think about, okay, how long does one person need to work on a business plan? This is important for you to know these numbers. I totally agree. But you have them already paid in the salaries and wages. Don't count them twice. Yeah, so these things, I've seen that specifically in the last week. I think I saw that in 2 or 3 business plans we are drafting here at the moment, where people then just had upfront feed, but then monthly feed costs. Okay, so make sure the costs are only accounted once. Yeah, and don't do that. In the one case, I think we had them 3 times in the financial forecast, what they provided us. Yeah, so then you have your staff complement, you have your products and your services, you have your selling prices, you have your cost prices determined. If you want to buy in something and sell it, then it's usually easy. Specifically in the beginning, I highly recommend only think about the cost. It's called cost of sales. Okay, only for the raw material or the product you buy in and then you want to sell. Don't account for salaries, wages, labor, or something like this. I would love, specifically for a startup, to have that separate. Because in the beginning, so if you start with, let's say, 100 staff to manufacture something, they will be slower in the beginning until the routine, the systems are all in place. And after a year, they are definitely faster. So it will be difficult to really say, okay, one person is able to do 100 units in an hour. Yeah, because in the beginning they are maybe only able to do 50, and then later on, after 3 or 4 months, they are able to do a little bit more. Okay, so we've got then the cost prices, we have the selling prices. Now we think about our monthly expenses. Okay, and that's also, it is, I know there's lots of thumb sucking included. I am aware of it. But you always have some, if you are expanding, it's quite easy. You usually know what how much you will pay then for, I don't know, bigger space, or you want to double your capacity, your production capacity, your electricity. In the beginning, it's a little bit more challenging, but usually what you see is on the explanation of equipment you need, it usually says how much electricity it needs per hour, so, and then you can make calculations and determine how much electricity you need. Yeah. Insurance, also, you have a look at how much value of equipment you need to insure, and then you can get some quotes from insurance brokers, or they can give you an indication, okay, so how much you should calculate. The next thing is, and I'm sure I shared that a couple of times, think about the space you need. Okay, so and I've seen that in some business plans. So obviously they started with small staff complement, and then somebody told them, hey, if you want to have any funding from government, you need to increase your staff, you know. So, and what is then in the business plan is an office of 100 square meter, but in the explanation it says 100 staff. And then there's another information in the financial forecast, because I think they only had 40,000 Rand salaries and wages per month. You see how critical it is at the end that you do all the bits and pieces, you have a look at everything separately, and then you take the time and you go back. Yeah, and then you say, okay, so I assumed you want to manufacture 100,000 units, but I also have 2 production workers. And then maybe in some, so 100,000 units, let's say per hour, you know, so just to, and then 2 production workers, I'm not too sure. I think it depends on, of course, the equipment, but only 2 people having there, maybe even no production manager, no technical manager if there is something wrong with the machine or it's stuck, who's able then to assist and fix it. Maybe there is a problem, yeah. Or you have, I've seen also the other way around, you know, somebody says we only do, I don't know, a couple of hundred products per hour, but they have 30 staff. Okay, so everybody is carrying now 1 product around the factory, you know, so I'm generalizing, I know that, I'm absolutely aware of it, but what I want you to understand that where do you need to have a look at? Okay, and you know, if you manufacture only 3, let's say you manufacture vehicles and there are only 3 vehicles, you will not be able to do 3 vehicles a day with 2 staff, yeah, because a car is a little bit more complex, and if you really want to individual assemble them, then you definitely need more staff to do that, yeah. And then you also can see, okay, what qualification do these people need to have, you know, so, and if it is now a complex manufacturing process and you only have normal semi-skilled or unskilled laborer, and you don't have a production manager, a technical manager in there, there's a problem, you know, so because it makes no sense. So and this is after you've done all your homework, after you got all this information together, you definitely need always to go back there and have a look. Does it make sense? Does it fit together? You know, be prepared. Put these efforts up front. Doesn't matter if you want to apply for funding or you want to do to finance the whole setup on your own. Please, please, please take your time to do so. Yeah, you want to be sure that you eliminate as many challenges as possible up front. Because I promise you one thing, and that's something what I experienced, is there will be always challenges. And they are always challenges, they come from an angle you never ever expected, you know? So we always think, really? So, okay, how do we fix that? How do we make sure this doesn't happen again if you want to grow further and further and further? Yeah? Okay, and then the last part is, of course, having a clear idea about how many units you will be able to sell per month. You know, so you need to have it. That's why doesn't matter, you want to start on your own, you want to invest your own money, or you want to apply for funding. you definitely need to have some sort of offtake agreements or feasibility study available. You need to think about how many units per month are you able to sell. Yeah, and that it doesn't matter if we do that here at Funding Connection also. I know exactly, I have a team of, I think at the moment, 12 people, and I know exactly how many business plans with this team we are able to get out. Yeah, with all the steps and checks included. So, and I know when we want to grow, what I need to do. I know that exactly. And that's the same thing what you also need to think about. How many units with this system, with this setup you are having at the moment, are you realistically able to get out? Yeah. And then you need to think about, okay, so is this sufficient enough? Is this okay if I only sell 10 cows a month? Or, you know, so, and I have 60 workers. I'm sure it's not, I don't even need to see the number. Yeah, it makes no sense. And it's also, I know lots of people think it's all about job creation, but if you can't pay your staff at the end of the first month, you haven't created any jobs. Yeah, you only are able to create jobs if your business is successful and profitable. Yeah. Okay, I hope that helped a little bit. Let me just see. Okay, Nelly said hi, Nelly Eileen. Then I have Patricia, good morning. Alex, you can see and hear me perfectly. Patricia, good morning. Okay, so let me just see. Great, Nelly and... oh yeah, Tinumzi. I'm sure that's how I hope I pronounced that name similar to how you are called. Okay, so if you now decided that looks still too complex and complicated for me, I definitely need some help with this. We are able to only do the financial forecast for you. Yeah, if this is what you require. You can contact us. The easiest way, you have two options. Number one is just reply here on Facebook, okay, via Messenger. And Brent and Jen are there and answering and giving you the next step and advice where you can go, what you need to do. And if you say here, I need a financial forecast, we charge 3,900 Rand for a 20-page financial forecast. It's done in Excel. You receive it as a PDF format because you wouldn't know where to change any numbers, and we are more than happy to do some smaller amendments later on free of charge for you there. If you say, hey, I need a full business plan, that's also not a problem. Just contact us. We determine what we can do for you. We try to be as fair as possible and figure out which package do you really need, what makes sense, okay? And then we can offer you our services. You can also go directly to our website, fundingconnection.co.za, contact us there. Same thing, Brent and Jen are there on the other side, are able to guide you, but you also find a couple of information there. Francis has a question. Can you model the impact and... sorry, my eyes are tired. Can you model the impact and structure of having executive and staff shareholding? That is too general. What I assume, okay, so the challenge is if you want to have your staff to have shares as a trust or something like this, it makes it, funny enough, really difficult for financiers to get that through, you know, because what they expect is whoever applies needs to be in a management position. They've done before these trust as staff trusts as shareholders, the crazy thing is then the interest rate for them goes up. Makes absolutely no sense for me. Yeah. If you have management and they want to buy some shares maybe in your company, that's not a problem. Yeah. On the profit, loss and balance sheet. Sorry, Francis, that is so individual. If you like to discuss this with me, I'm more than happy to do that. You will need to set up an appointment with me, yeah? Okay, Tabo, good morning. If I want a business and funding, what should I do because I registered a catering company? Tabo, honestly, catering at the moment is still really, really challenging. Yeah, I don't want to sugarcoat here anything. The problem is we are back in lockdown level 3. At the moment when we do applications for all different industry, they always ask us, and we include that the impact what COVID will have, the impact some other lockdowns will have on the business. And with catering, you know, it is really, really challenging. If you want to go into catering, let's be honest, what I would do is think about your ideal client. And the ideal client at the moment may be a different ideal client than under normal circumstances, okay? So maybe you offer, I don't know, picnic baskets for smaller events. You know, have a look what people are allowed to do at the moment. Have a look what people would like to do. You know, you can't do big events at the moment. You're only able to do smaller events, and that can be a little bit challenging. Yeah, I need to scroll back here. There was another question. Okay. This is not working here. That is jumping here all the time. Okay. Guest house. Peter. With a proven track record, even right through with COVID and everything. Okay. Let me just... Sorry, Peter, I can't see that here. And this is jumping always backwards and forwards here. Is the forecast by month for all years? It's a 5-year forecast. For the 2 first years, it's a monthly one. Okay, that is how the financier is wanted at the moment. Peter Kotze, guest house with a proven track record. Okay, so I assume you want to apply for funding for an expansion. Okay, Peter, just drop us an email, either way an email through our website, or just feel free also to contact us on via Facebook Messenger. Like I said, I have some team members able to ask you the correct questions, and then we are able to guide. So you want to know if there is funding available at the moment. It is a little bit challenging. If you were still successful through 2020, it may be available. Yes, like I said, I need a little bit more information. Keep in mind there are, I don't know how many, 70 different programs available. I'm just guessing here at the moment and thumb sucking. Each of them has 20 pages, rules and regulations. So in general, yes, there may be some more details we just need to know, where I can then say, oh, that's excluded already. Yeah. Tabo, okay, ma'am, no problem. It's really challenging for sure. Can I also ask something before I forget? What, maybe you assist me with mobile kitchen, maybe, or is it still, it's the same thing? Okay, mobile kitchen is the same thing. Yeah. Okay, Peter, okay. Great. Okay, so Is there funding available for startups that actually need funding to launch from idea to commercial phase? In general, yes. In your specific case, I'm really sorry. I know that it sounds a little bit, I don't know how to say that, but 20 pages rules and regulations. I need to know what product or service you offer. I need to know how much funding you need. I need to know exactly for what you need the funding. Yeah, these are the questions my team will ask you, and they are then able to say, yes, makes sense. No, it doesn't make any sense. Or sometimes they say, okay, so we need a little bit more details from you, and then we are able to assist. Yeah. Okay, I hope this helped. It gave you a little bit clarity today, what you need to do, how much details you need to prepare to do a proper financial forecast. Okay, and then we just take it from there. Thibaut, I'm missing your question. Yes, sorry, it just jumps here, and I'm trying here also on my Facebook page. What you can do is just, is the forecast by month? Thibaut, I answered this. Yes, it is. The first 2 years is monthly, yeah? And then for the last 3 years, it's yearly, and that's exactly how the financiers need that, yeah? Okay, sorry, I didn't want to miss you, Thibaut, but I answered that. Pleasure, take good care. I wish you an absolutely successful new week. And we will definitely see us next week, or you set up a meeting with me. You can do that on my website, fundingconnection.co.za. There's an online calendar. There's a 15 minutes free consultation, but there's also a 45-minute paid consultation available. And then we just, I can then just guide you. Yeah? Okay, pleasure. Take good care and all the best. Bye-bye.